So this is this chart here is the dollar, otherwise known as Dixie. This is the US dollar. I've got it on a 60-minute chart. This is the 20th, Thursday. Yeah? Yeah. Okay. Right here. This is the 10-year yield. So you can see it opens up in the morning, gap down from the day before, and kind of just heads lower. That's also Thursday. And this is the 10-year Treasury. TNX is what that's called. This is the almighty VIX. Well, you can see what's happening here on the VIX is that the VIX gaps up in the morning and tries to make a move, but gets pulled back. It starts to get some traction, and this going higher basically means investors are getting worried, so they start to hedge, but not so much that it takes price, above 17, 18, 19, certainly nowhere near 20. So it pulls back a little bit. And as this pulls back, you can see it kind of breaks this area, and then it drops kind of into the close. You get a little bit of a hook here at the end of the day. So that's Thursday. What I want to show you is the relationship here. So this is a 15-minute chart, so it's a little bit more detailed of what happened on that Thursday. So look what's happening here. In the pre-market, you get a gap down before the market opens on Thursday. Okay, we ended here on Wednesday, and this is now Thursday. It gaps down. Why? Well, one thing you can see is the VIX gapping up. So in the overnight or the early morning session, there might have been investors that started buying out of the money calls on the VIX and drove it higher. So when it opened early in the morning, around 5 o'clock in the morning, it's driving price up, on the VIX. Now the market doesn't open until like here. There's the market open. This is like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. You have a gap up on the VIX, and the VIX is going higher. So before investors wake up and even get to their computers in the morning, the VIX is already elevated. And that causes the SPY to sell off in the pre-market, in the overnight and in the pre-market, meaning the futures market, and then it gets translated here into SPY. So I just want you to see the relationship here. Gap up in the VIX in the morning, gap down in equities. Now, while that's happening, so what's really going on here, right? Well, yields are dropping. Is that for good reasons or bad reasons? Don't know. The dollar is dropping. Is that for good reasons or bad reasons? We don't know. Well, initially, it seems like a good thing, right? Dollar going down is good for exports. It's good for commodities. Yields going down is good for home builders and banks that want to loan money and be able to loan it for cheaper. So initially, that seems like it's kind of a positive thing, but I don't trust it. I don't trust that it's a good thing. And you shouldn't either. I'm going to get to this. Is important because we closed out some positions that morning. Why don't I trust it? If we know the dollar going down is good for the overall, it's good for the markets, right? A softer dollar, a weaker dollar means that other countries, their currency gets more for the US dollar, which means they will spend more money, which means exports increase. Good for companies. Also, dollar down, weaker dollar, that's good for commodities. Wheat, corn, coffee, sugar, gold, silver, palladium. It's a good part of our economy. Right? Should be a good thing. Before we even get to the SPY, yields going down is also a good thing, right? Crooked eyes, but there we go. Yay, good. It's good, right? Small banks are able to lend at a better rate. Small businesses are able to get capital a little cheaper. Home builders will be able to get loans, and they'll be able to build more real estate, right? So overall, the theme here is that this is good. right? Oops. And this is good. And but I don't buy it. Tell me why I don't buy it. This is, during the day, I'm watching price action, watching the dollar drop, watching yields drop, and I'm wondering, what the heck is going on? Well, yeah. So Tula B's very good. So while this is going on, the VIX is going higher. So somebody's lying. So we've got to watch what the SPY does and the VIX, because I don't believe you and I don't believe you. So let's just see. Well, the VIX does in fact go higher. The markets do actually drop lower. But be careful. Be careful for the 10 o'clock reversal. Here, you see this right here? See this candle right here where the market goes whoop and goes up for 2 hours or however long not 2 hours, but it kind of reverses and go up. Oh, 10 o'clock candle, 10 to 10:15. Right on cue, like today. Literally the same looking candle as we got today. So I'm just going to reread the alert that I wrote at 9 o'clock, 9:45 in the morning with all this mess here. Good morning. VIX is trying, I'm going to color as I go, okay? VIX is trying to move higher. Here it is, trying to move, and I gave the alert right about here. But investors aren't willing to lean into their shorts just yet, and you can see for a full hour, they were not. So even though we are seeing a pullback from the highs of yesterday, these are the highs of yesterday on the SPY, right? I'm not convinced the overall move higher is done, right? So I'm going to take this morning's price action to the downside, right here, to remove any of my remaining, I had Microsoft shorts and I had Amazon shorts. So I see the market coming down. I see the VIX going up, but not a lot of conviction here. This is heading down. That's kind of a good thing, but not quite sure what the VIX is doing. I got to keep an eye on the VIX. So as the VIX spikes up, and then I start to see it really not going much higher. Let me just squinch this. I'm going to show you something. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Right? See where it's coming from? Right? Whoop. As the VIX rises here and the markets drop here into this area here, I take this move from the highs of yesterday to the lows of Thursday, and I take off my short positions. I take off. And the next alert is at 9:47. Sell Amazon. I rolled my silver verts to this Friday. And then a little bit later, I talk about this. We've been looking at banks, and we have trades in legacy on Bank of America, a short. Last night and in Tuesday's live session, we talked once again about JP Morgan, and I said I was waiting for a reversal candle. Well, this morning, we're down about 1.2%. So I'm going to enter a pilot position for March. You could do it at the money, and I gave some examples of what we could trade. And I put that trade on the 20th. Okay? So now just watch this. No, I Taterhead, I do. I just, for the purposes of this, for the purposes of just this demonstration, I have it on hourly. But I typically, during market hours, I watch it at like a 15-minute, typically. Right? So remember what I just said. So here's the moves that I took. Went down, I got out of Amazon, I got out of Microsoft. But let's take a look at JP Morgan. So I want you to walk you through. There it is. Oh, 20th. Don't, 21st, 20th here. Yeah, right here, 19th, 20. So in the morning, right about here, before this happened for the rest of the day, right? Look at the topping candle here. And we talked about this. I'm not going to go through this again, but we talked about this. Hitting the upper Bollinger Band, you see the wicks here, sort of a topping candle, just waiting for the reversal candle. There it is, happened in real time. And when price was here, I put out the alert, I'm shorting JP Morgan. And so we got a number of trades. We got the 270, 265s, and we did a couple of different 270, 275, 270s as well. We did both of these for different expirations. But can you see like how this all came together? And what happened at the end of the day? Boom. Like it just really dropped, which was great to see. And in fact, by 1 o'clock, I closed this one for 140% profit. Not bad in a few hours is what I wrote. Yes, it's a day trade. Don't worry about it. Okay. And so what I also did was this continued to drop. And so when it got down here, I closed the other one. So I literally took the trade in the morning, closed it. Boom. Out of the trade. Done. Now I did have some SPY left over, 595s, didn't get quite down there, but on that move to the downside that I just showed you earlier, I got out of the trade there as well. Okay. Then I decided to, I played around a little bit with the 618, 623s. Just go on. Okay, so now we're into Friday. So now look what happened. Look what happened here. You got the reversal. And so here you are in a box. The question is, you got calls, you got puts, a lot of them 0 days till expiration. If the VIX drops and you break out of this level, then the markets are going to push higher into the close. And so the VIX dropped, you broke this level, and what happened in the close? Whammo. Not only that, you came back up to here, and that's what the pre-market did. So now you've got the next day. Now, so I wrote the markets could move higher if the VIX stays in a box. This is Friday. So look at what's going on here. I write this at 9:30 in the morning, and you're right about here. And I write, I was in New Hampshire, but I said the markets could move higher if the VIX stay in the box, that little box I just drew, right? As always, I'm watching to see NVIDIA and Apple move together one way or another. Let's see the reaction to the data first, and then, we'll go from there. An hour later, we had an IWM vertical. The IWM dropped with 70% profit. Awesome. And that was the end of that trade. But look what happened. Look what happened on Friday. So here you are, you open on Friday, you open here, not very good at all. The VIX starts to go higher, and so you drop. It pulls back a little bit, a little bit of a pullback, so you get a little bit of this, but look where you are. You're above 17, you're above 18. This thing is going to cause a lot of pressure on the markets. And when you look at this, sort of the dollar going higher. You look at this, yields continuing to drop. I don't buy it at all. Like, that's not good news. I believe the dollar going up, that's not good news. I see the VIX going up, also not good news. And then you break, always the last thing that I tell you, then you break the level. That level had to hold. It tried, but look how this level here, that's your support level. You break this, heading down. It broke it, it came back up, and then as soon as it retested, it fell through, and that's the end of the day. Bang, down she goes. Right? So this is just kind of the analysis that I take you through every day.
Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video from Trade With Me Now. Make sure to go ahead and like this video and subscribe to our channel so you make sure that you catch our next video right when it's released. Also, if you have a question or comment, please leave that in the comment section below. And of course, if you want to learn more about Trade With Me Now or join our community of profitable traders, go to tradewithmenow.com. There's also a link in the description below.